Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
Did we do a little costume change?
I'm not wearing a costume. I'm wearing Dolce & Gabbana. It's called an evening gown, darling. This is not, no one's paying me for this. I paid for it. It's custom.
And this bitch wonders why she's single. We're just going to let this play through, and I want you to listen to all of it. And she absolutely cosigns men assaulting other men.
Thank you.
Time of death for me right now. You look gorgeous.
This is not an acting gig. This is my life. This what fame look like. This what success look like. This what money look like. This what it look like. It's what it look like.
When is your book coming out called This What It Looked Like? And I will just read the entire book.
That book's not coming no time soon, but I Curse You With Joy will be out in November.
Okay.
And Layla, the Last Black Unicorn, will be out next month.
You're doing so much right now. Okay.
I'm just, trying to accomplish a lot of things before 50. What are you doing?
Well, I'm wondering something.
You out here with no shoes on, I'm jealous.
No shoes on. Here's the thing.
From?
I'm from Chicago.
And you out here with no shoes on?
This is warm weather to me.
I know, it's hot out here to you, right?
Okay.
I appreciate you.
You know I gotta ask you.
You're not uncomfortable in there,
I'm not, but you know I gotta
I know,
ask.
because you're not wearing no heels. You comfortable in the mud. I'm uncomfortable, but I look good. That's what it look like.
Would you define tonight as uncomfortable?
No, I would define tonight as a success.
Okay.
It was a great night tonight.
Okay, what did you...
First of all, I seen a man stand up for his wife, which we don't see that much anymore. That made me have hope. How about you? How did you feel about it?
I wanted your opinion on it because you're a comedian. And so it was that thing where, like, was that joke too far? How did you feel about what Will did? Because you are someone who's done comedy, and yet, like you just said, you saw a man defending his wife.
Yeah. I want to know how you felt about it. Would you want your husband to do that for you if you was clearly hurt? I mean, they put her face up on the screen. He looked over at his wife. She was hurt. What would you want?
I would want him to defend me. The thing that made me sad was, like, this was a big night for Will. And then you saw that emotion for him, and it was like, God, it's just, I don't think I've still processed how this night went, you know?
Well, I just know she better take care of business when they get home. Because I know I would. If my man did that for me, I'm just saying, yellow.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it.
Oh my God!
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
God right.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
Oh, wow. Wow.
I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time.
I know to do what we do, you got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you. You got to smile and you got to pretend like that's okay. Denzel said to me a few minutes ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you.
Got him! Got him!
That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
Oh, man. Well, what's going on out there, peeps? Glad to see you back here in his house one more again. It's Hammerhand, the MGTOW monk. And guess what, man? I've told you and told you and told you and told you. Some of you picked up on it, and I'm glad that you did because you're saving yourself some drama and some trauma down the road. I've told you, you will receive more shit, more garbage, more crap, more death threats, and more violence from the cuck, from the simp, from the flesh pimp than you ever will from hoes. Tiffany Haddish co-signs assaulting men that make women around them upset. And she's not the only one. YouTube will be loaded tonight, just like Instagram, just like all of these other bullshit social media sites. Will be loaded tonight with hoes breaking them off, talking about, I got to get me a man, a real man. Come on here and assault this motherfucker. Come on. Fuck that shit. Let me get in the chat. Oh my God, there's a lot of comments in here already. Wow. 13 minutes on, man. 350 sets of eyeballs on this one. Don't worry now. We're going to break it down. We're going to go through it. And we're going to find out what this is, what this was. This is one of two things. Before we get started with the comments, this was one of two things. It was real or it wasn't. It was real or it wasn't. Place your bets. Bob would be on the ground bleeding out. Well, you saw how he had his other hand up. He had his left hand up ready. He was ready, man. He thought he was going to get some. But do you know who the real winner is in all of this? Who's the real winner? The meme lords are the real winners. I say that Chris Rock comes out on top just a little bit, because now HBO or Cinemax or who the fuck ever is going to be begging this motherfucker to do 5 or 6 stand-ups at $500 a seat. And all they're going to talk about is the night he hosted the Oscars. He's going to make a fucking killing on this. He's going to make a killing. Thank you, Will Simp. Come on up here, Will Simp. Give me the other side, too. I'll make 10 shows. Oh, it's terrible. Georgia, Red Mud. Chris won't sue for being punked. No, I don't think that he will. And if he did, could I blame him? Could I blame the man? No. I couldn't blame the man. This is not an indictment of Chris Rock getting sucker punched. Well, he didn't really get punched. He got sucker slapped. It was open hand slap. It's not an indictment of Chris Rock. What this is a passive way to start telling people out there in the weak-ass mainstream that it is acceptable to commit violence on people if you don't like their opinion. That's what this is. This was being seen by a worldwide audience. The magnification that it's getting makes sure that the entire planet, everybody with a TV, a radio, or a microphone somewhere knows that this happened. Everybody, billions. The Oscars was in the fucking toilet 5 minutes before that happened. 5 minutes. Now, who wants to put money on the fact that the Oscars is going to get a bump next year? People tuning in just to see what's up. Oh, man, we better watch this shit. Something going to pop off. They bring a gun or something. They're Negan that motherfucker. Put a ball bat on him. Now, if you're a comedian, you can't tell a joke. You can't tell a joke now. This is how fucked up and crippled your culture is. Your culture is gone. It's in the toilet. The only thing that remains is the things that your culture built. Right now, you're in a struggle to survive just to keep your 1A and your 2A. And your 1A is absolutely under assault. Mr. Branko 81, Simpendence Day. RP Anomaly, like the production, he's still a simp either way. I agree with you. Oh, and before I go any farther, I need to thank the quartering Jeremy. I borrowed part of his thumbnail and that pre-roll. So yeah, thank you very much to the quartering and Jeremy. And yo, if you want me to take it down, I'll take it down. I'll just clip it out and put this thing back up. MGTOW Quieter, hell yeah. Matt from Tinder, oh shit, is the red hen in the house? That's when Murphy shows up with his slippy slide. Kratos 70, LOL at Snappy One. Antonio Sanchez, this is to continue stoking, continue the stoking of females to be aggressive against their counterparts if they're males. Well, I didn't see any female aggression. What I saw was a man being controlled. Now, I'm not going to say he was on puppet strings. What I'm going to say is that Will Smith has been the global icon for cuckage. Now, a lot of us in this sphere right here in this corner, we know who John the King Cuck Goldman is. We know. We know the people like him. We know who the Yogi Zero Abs are. We know who the Angry MGTOWs are or were. We know who the MGTOW dictionaries are. We know all the suckers, the simps, the dating roaches. We know who all of them are. But that's not the world. The world knows Will Smith as the guy that sat at the red table while his wife talked about entanglements. August and I we got into an entanglement. But you got an open marriage, homeboy. So shut the fuck up. Shut up. If you choose to be pimped out by your old lady, then that's on you. Now, if she's pimping you out because she's waiting for you to break off a big slice of that bread in divorce court, you better get to breaking before there's nothing left. Before there's nothing left, homie. Daryl Dundee, I think the Academy will expel them both. They won't do nothing to them. They're the wrong shade. They won't do anything to them. You know that for a fact. If that had been a white comedian, that would have never happened. Would have never happened. That would have been worldwide outrage. Right now, it's not an outrage. It's an expose. That's what it is. It highlights and showcases the dysfunction in the community. $400 million in the bank. And you couldn't tell him from some sucker on the corner somewhere in Chicago. Because they have the same mindset, the same brain. They're wired the same way. One of them's got $400 million in the bank. The other one, well, he's hustling crack on the side of the road somewhere. Am I making too much out of it? Am I going too far over? I don't think so. That was a global embarrassment. tacitly endorsing assault. This is where we're at now. This is where we're at. It's where we're at now, and it's where we're going to be for a long time until we get this fucking shit squared away, till we get it figured out. Tiffany Haddish told you straight away, I wish my mans would do that for me, but she don't have a man. You see how abrasive that fucking Gorilla Glue looking motherfucker is? How nasty, what a shitty, toxic attitude she's got. I hate that word toxic, but it kind of applies. You ask somebody if they had a costume change, and the first place they take it is, oh, this motherfucker thinks I'm the help. No, that's not what it was. That's not what it was about. It wasn't about the white announcer trying to put the black fame seeker in her place. And when she's talking about, this is fame, this is what it looked like, this is money, this is what it looked like, this Dolce and Gabbana, this is what it looked like. I wonder why this motherfucker's single. Ha! And that message by her was amplified 1,000,000 times over. That's what they really want out of you, men, especially you black men. They want you to fight each other. They want you to kill each other. They want to feel special. Buying them shit don't get it done no more. They want you gladiators in combat. That's what they want. Some of them will say it to you. Most of them won't. They'll just kind of hang around and wait, see what's up. Andy MGTOW hit the thumbs up. Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Shinobi One, yo, +1 shield. Ricardo Rodney, da communita. Russell Bodie. True, and their status and wealth gives them even more privilege. I don't buy into the privilege shit, man. If you work for it, cool. You know, there's a famous sticker, a window sticker, a bumper sticker out there in the world that says Salt Life. You've seen it. That was the one creation that this fella put up that made him rich. He's made millions on that sticker. If you can get your riches, man, go get them. If you come up with something that folks want and they're willing to pay for it, go get it. I'm not going to say anything to you. If you created a fucking bumper sticker and you're rich, congratulations. If you created a new way to grow food and you're not rich, as the case will always be, pretty much, you know, get what you can get out of it. I ain't mad at nobody because they've got the resources to come and go as they please. That's a good thing, you know, unless you're scalping motherfuckers, unless you're taking advantage of folks. So sad that this is what it turned out to be. 3-3, it'll be forgotten in 2 weeks. It'll be forgotten in 48 hours, bro. 48 hours. Everybody's going to be on to the next thing. You know, the fact that Rock has already said, nah, I ain't gonna bring no charge, you know. There's a deeper message here. A much deeper message. Do you think I'm irritated or bothered because one rich prick slapped another rich prick in the mouth? It wasn't over his woman. Come on now. It wasn't over his woman. It was over the fact that this man has been getting mauled in the media for years now because of the doings, the comings and the goings of his old lady. And because he's on the fucking hook. You don't really think that if he calls it quits with her and they divorce, that she ain't gonna get some of that Will Smith money. You don't believe that, do you? Because that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. So he stays and he tries to make nice and he tries to convince himself at all hours of the day and night when he's in that fucking bed alone and she's out there on the other side of town getting down, trying to find a cure for her alopecia by having somebody squirt on her head. Rub it in, bitch. Protein. He'll tell himself anything to justify staying and being there. Machiavelli, I'm in Chicago. Beetlejuice be wildin'. Yeah, that motherfucker. Oh my God, she's wow. You know, these people are lunatics. They are insane. and they are running your cities. They're running your infrastructure. That's what happens when you sit on your thumbs and you don't pay attention to what's going on, and you just let this bitch go on autopilot for 30 years. See what happened? Oh man, see what happened? Yeah, that's some bullshit. But you know, it is what it is. Mr. Pliskin, call me Snake. There's going to be a new Flash Gordon movie, and Jada just got cast as the villain, Ming the Merciless. Oh shit. Give her a mustache. Where's my Fu Manchu? Oh, it's terrible. AC3R. An entanglement with his finances is in the future. I think so. DJ, the zinc treatment. Squirt, squirt, squirt. Oh, nasty. It's disgusting. Wheeled skeptic. Tired of the Will Smith bullshit. Fake as fuck. Let's get into that. Okay, let's go from the point of view that this was legitimate and then it was real. And I've kind of been on that point, but I'm gonna hit it just a little more. So he walks up to this fellow on national TV with a cast of millions watching this live. The United States broadcast cut away. The broadcast in Australia is where we're getting all the juicy shit. Well, they kept it right on them, front and center. You just walk up and you assault a comedian. Let's forget about the fact that it's Chris Rock. You assault a comedian because you don't like what he has said. And then you blame the assault on the fact that he said something about your wife, which 5 seconds before that, you were sitting there chuckling and laughing and shit until you saw her reaction. This is the same woman that's running around taking 3-point zinc shots from all the neighbors, and you're out there defending her. Will Smith is one of the richest suckers in the world, one of the richest simps, one of the richest fucking zinc shotters. He's a zinc shot enabler for his old lady. Because she had to find herself, you see. And this kid was around with a fucking disease, and I felt some communion with him. So I sucked his dick. It's just normal shit. Don't judge me. MGTOW gear. So many blue pills. So many blue pill men are going. We must defend my lady's honor. It's so sad. Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. Let me get back to my point, though. So you have an assault. It's recorded. It's on video evidence. You happen to have, I don't know, millions of witnesses to it while it was happening, and ain't nobody going to do nothing. Nobody's going to do nothing. Remember all those cases out there, the mutual combat cases that you've seen and that you've heard of down the road, where both parties said, nah, we're not going to do nothing. And the state stepped in and said, well, fuck that shit. We're going to press charges on your behalf. And like, no, I don't want to press charges. It's out of your hands. Why ain't you seeing that? Less than an hour later, this fucking fool gets trotted up on stage and he's handed an Oscar, which don't mean shit now. All an Oscar is a deformed dildo. That's all an Oscar is anymore. Put a French tickler on that motherfucker. 24-karat pussy ring. Disgusting. Disgusting. Dan Moritz, at least Hammerhand, showed the full clip. What happened? Showed the clip in full. Another MGTOW showed a micro screen, and I couldn't even see Will Smith's expression, whom got cucked and still defends his hoe. Oh, man. And is he ever? And you know, the B-dubs are out there swooning. Hands on heart. Did you hear it? Did you hear me put my hands on my heart? Let me do it one more again. Hands on heart, talking about, I got to get me a real man like that. You know how they got them smoky voices like they've been chewing on charcoal? I got to get me a real, this is Dolce & Gabbana, bitch. How you talking to me like that, white person? This is what you're dealing with. This is who runs your community, black men. The matriarchy. The matriarchy, them corrupt goddamn pastors, pardon my language. Oh yeah, that's who runs your community. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that something? That so many people could be kept in check by, oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry, that's happening the whole world over. I forgot my place. I forgot my place. That's happening to everybody. Everybody's getting run under by just a few thousand people. Now let's take it from the other angle. Let's say that this was a put on, that it was a fake, that this was a work, like in the old wrestling days, right? They don't do works in wrestling anymore. All they do is parade around in a ring, cut really bad promos, and then go to the gym for 5 hours and fuck each other to death. That's about it. That's all they do in wrestling anymore. Let's just say that this was fake. This wasn't real, that they had talked about it, or they got some of that Jerry Springer treatment, like Chris Rock was being talked to. Come on, drum it up, because come on, man, he's going to like it. We done told him what's up. Then they go to Will Smith. He's like, we tried to tell Chris not to do all of this, but, he's determined to run this thing. So, you got to handle it the way you got to handle it, man. We understand power to the people, and take care of your wife and her alopecia. I'd do it. And then you end up with this contrived bullshit. Who wins if this is fake? Well, you already saw who won. The Oscars broadcast won. It won. And people are dumb enough to tune in for this fucking contrived bullshit. To say it is contrived or is not contrived, to me, is not the point. That motherfucker got clapped in the face. That much is certain. That's for real. That happened. Let me get up in this chat here real quick. Your Highness, so Jada can have all the men in the world inside her mouth, but a comedian making a joke has to keep Jada's name out his mouth. Yes. I think you're catching on. Yes. Amazing playthroughs. Rolo Tamale says it was staged. Well, it was on a stage. It was on a stage. Nobody knows. Look, man, nobody knows. You can play that thing as much as you want to play that thing. This was designed one way or the other, whether it was legitimately organic, impulsive, or staged. 100% all parties knew what was going down except for the audience and all blah, 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 blah. The end result is to get people talking about this. The after effects, the reverberations inside of that end result are significant. Co-signing violence against somebody because of their opinion is one of those after effects. Trying to pigeonhole black men into fighting over black women is another one of those side effects. And there will be more than enough suckers, black simps, that will step up to the plate and try to beat the shit out of somebody over the offense of a woman. Even kill a motherfucker. There's a whole bunch of that going down too. Before I go any farther, big ups to the chat. Thank you so very much, folks, for being here. I appreciate the hell out of you, as always. And big ups to all of those wrenches taking care of business, man. I thank you, as I always do. That's why I gave you the wrenches. That's why I bestowed the master wrench upon you, because I know that you have the patience and the tolerance to deal with shit, but you lock it down when it comes time to lock it down. Let's try not to be banning people. I've been getting a couple of comments about, man, all I said was I wanted a girlfriend and somebody banned me. Let's not do that. All right. That's not simping. It's not out of line. It's expressing a desire, and that's all right. That's okay to do here. We ain't trying to lock nobody up down for their opinion. Even if it's a fucking shitty opinion, bring it to my attention and we'll see if we can address it in real time. Oh, man. Gunsight 1. What's up, wrenches? Michael Guevara, the Inquisition, approves this message. Man, I'm in good company tonight. Way of the Kodiak. You can't talk about McQuani like that. I'd duck and kill you. Hey, man, don't duck. Just kill me, motherfucker. Put me out of my misery. UK MGTOW, Simp Dependence Day. Charles Fields Jr., I'd rather go to the gym than deal with these women nowadays. I agree with you. I agree with you. I shit you not when I say I'd rather sit down and ice pick my knees than have to fuck with these hoes. They can't get nothing from me. They can't get nothing from me. I ain't got nothing to give them. You see? GTN, give them nothing. Don't be their ATM. Don't spend your attention, time, or money. Thank you, Line of MGTOW, RPM. I appreciate everything that these folks come up with that I get to turn it around and use it. Thank you. Asian the domination. You sound black. Oh, man. Do tell. One fast Dak. Brother Placebo. Sutnar. The wrenches do the Lord's work. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Been a wonderful time here with these wrenches, man. Blue Pill Cup. Too many wrenches, to be honest. Well, if some of these normies would show up, then there wouldn't be so many wrenches in the chat. And because I cannot depend on the wrenches to show up every time I go live, that's why I have a supply of wrenches. You see what I'm saying? To kind of spread it out a little bit. The last live that I did, there weren't that many wrenches in there. 5, maybe. Not that big a deal. We just try to stay covered. James Vitorovich. Apparently, Will Smith has to give back his Oscar. I don't believe that shit at all. I don't believe that. I saw that going around as a rampant rumor. That's a rumor. Until they come out and they say that shit on front page news saying that the Oscar was revoked, I won't believe it. I will not believe it. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine the fucking backlash that's going to come? This man and his old lady pioneer the Oscars so white hashtag. Be careful what you wish for, because you got it. Your Oscars ain't so white no more. Now guess what you got? On stage fucking slap fights. You asked for it. You got it. Toyota. You motherfuckers. Oh, man, it's disgusting. Dark Blade. I get John Anthony vibes from Will Smith. I get the vibes of a man that is stuck. A man that has convinced himself that his open marriage is exactly what he wants. I get those vibes. And then when your son comes on and says, that's how we do it, you know that there's fucking dysfunction in that family. There's dysfunction in that family. That's not how you do it. You don't run up on somebody and smack them in the fucking mouth over a joke. You don't do that. We're in the age of losing definition and meaning to everything. Everything. Nuance, it's gone. It's gone. Nuance doesn't matter anymore. But nuance wasn't needed for the joke. Nuance wasn't needed for what went on that stage. It wasn't. It was a joke. Will Smith was directed by his old lady. Maybe not in words. But he became very aware of the fact that Mama Bear was displeased. Happy wife, happy life, right? Unless you're a cuck. It won't surprise me when she actually makes him wear a leash. It won't surprise me at all. It won't surprise me when his son turns out to be his daughter. It won't surprise me. That's just the way that these people are. D. Wade, anybody? Gabrielle Union, anybody? The Son husband. If you folks that are not black in the chat don't know what the fuck that is, look it up. Look it up. It's for real. Who 346? How would Will fix all of it? I don't know what he can do to fix it. I think it's beyond fixing. He's in a pressure cooker, man. He's in a pressure cooker. If I was Chris Rock, I would be talking to HBO right now about cutting them comedy specials. And I would make it known that I would go in on that bitch and his old lady 10 times harder than anything he ever conceived of. If I had been Chris Rock on that stage, which would be quite the fucking feat for 6'5" Canto Bite Whitey to be in that frame, but you know what I'm saying now. Work with me. If I had been Chris Rock, while they are screaming at me in my fucking earpiece, I would have taken the earpiece out and I said, let's see how mad we can make you now, motherfucker. And I would have just run that bitch through until they took me off the stage. That's what I would have done. Oh, you're such a small motherfucker, Hammer. You're so small. That's why nobody likes you. I don't need anyone to like me. I don't require the approval of anyone. When you're controlled by the machine, when the bank is holding your leash, you do what Chris Rock did. They called him a professional. I can half-ass agree with the fact that it was professional not to bust his ass and shove him off the stage. Will Smith has made a living being a tough guy. He's not a tough guy. He's not a tough guy. Will Smith is the Fresh Prince from Bel-Air. Get DJ Jazzy Jeff up there and cut some wax on that bitch's head. Fortis, Pure Blood. This isn't 1999 Fresh Prince. Oh, man, I was just saying something about that. Hostile MGTOW. Will Cuck Simp Smith. Well, yeah, like in every way, shape, and form, Holmes. MGTOW gear. I'd give Will Smith the Jack Murphy Goldman treatment and say some mean shit. Well, I would too. But you don't have to say mean things. It's not like you have to go outer limits to talk shit about this guy. You just have to say what he's doing. Just repeat the truth. That's mean enough. That's mean enough. You know, when you take your husband onto a show called The Red Table, modeled after a red light bulb for a whore district, and you confess to him that you have fucked multiple people, you've had some entanglements. That fool, I did a show on him back then when that happened. You could see his soul leaking out of his asshole. That's what you wanted, homie? That's what you wanted? That's not what you wanted. Is that your open marriage? It's open one way, like a check valve. It's open one way. You better believe that shit. Jason Heyman, Tupac is an interesting connection. I do wonder what Jada has over him. She's just got the law. Now, granted, she might have something else, but she's just got the law. The law in California is fucked. If you're dumb enough to get married in any state, I would almost say that you deserve what you got coming. But if you get married in states like Florida, California, New York, you're in a lot of trouble, especially when you hit that 10-year mark. 10 years, homie, you're going strong. You got a kid in elementary school. You got one in middle school. Life is fucking great. You come home one day, the house is emptied out. You hit that 10-year mark. That pussy is tingling. The bank account is at maximum. Time to bang on down around the corner. Find me somebody else. Feral Ravage. Notice how Will's most normal kid was the one he had before he had with Jada. Women always fuck things up, especially with weak-minded men. A weak-minded father that is a single father can do, I think, an appreciable job. When he gets with a woman that is 90 degrees bent, she's fucked up. She will influence everything he does because he wants to keep her. And that man will sacrifice his kids to keep that bitch. That's his consolation prize. Mr. GG's Zero Money, laughing my ass off. Hammer is breaking it down for us. Preach, bro, preach. I'm trying, sir. I'm trying. It's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible. Gunsight 1. Jada aired all that dirty laundry for all to see. It was only a matter of time before the man snaps. Yeah, no matter how much you co-sign it. No matter how much you say, oh, I'm with it. I got the open marriage thing. We're good, man. It's what we both want. Bullshit. Bullshit. It's what she wants. It's what she wants. It's what she wants, homie. You can delude yourself all you want. You need to take some of that $400 million and buy yourself some courage. Walking up on a stage and assaulting a comedian is not courage. That's some cuckified bullshit. There's not too many men that you could walk up on and do that to and not pay the price. Just saying. Biblical plagues have biblical endings, or they can strike you and the legal action is never taken. But if you fight back, you go to jail. Yeah, we've seen that happen. They put a paper on you and they just use it as leverage. The Gilded Age Phoenix, he was really born and raised in West Philadelphia. So what? He was telling a story. Man, he's telling a story. Everything is always bigger and badder when you're 14. Even life and death experiences. Michael Guevara, he hits like he did in his teens. Yeah, it wasn't like a fucking monster blow. I mean, Rock's feet didn't even move, you know? Call me a skeptic, but it's almost like he saw it coming. Caitlin McIntyre. It would have been 100% self-defense if Chris had fought back and sent Will straight to the hospital or worse. Oh, man. Isn't it terrible? 600 of y'all in the house. 600 sets of eyeballs watching this crazy old motherfucker spurg about two rich pricks getting into it at a show nobody watches. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh, man. UK MGTOW, the Jizz Queen. I don't know about all that. I ain't trying to get in Big Mitch Baker, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. Well, haven't you heard, man? They resurrected him on a brand new TV show. Now he's thinner and blacker. Uncle Phil lives. The Eclectic Order. I can't imagine what would have happened if it had been Don Rickles on that stage telling jokes. Well, let's just explore that. Let's say he walks up there and clubs Don Rickles. His ass is over. It's just over. It's just done. But you will see thousands, tens of thousands of people come out and say, well, Don Rickles has always been a racist, and this is what racists get. It's about time. They would co-sign anything. This motherfucker could punch a pregnant bitch's baby out of her, drag it down the red carpet by the umbilical cord, and they would still co-sign it. That's these people. They are fucking sickos. And everybody has a bad day. Remember Britney Spears? Oh, Mariah Carey, Dave Chappelle. Yeah, everybody has a bad day. His just happened on national TV, to a global audience. MGTOW gear at Hammerhand. Will tasted some fresh stuff on his wife's mouth every time. Oh, I ain't finishing that shit. I ain't finishing that. Black Crim, a man who's desperately trying to earn his wife's respect. Yeah. And he has been talking about recently getting the respect of the B-dub, the black woman, the most disrespected demographic on earth. That's what I think about that shit. Excuse me. Did you smell that pizza? I bet you smelt it. Disgusting motherfuckers. And you saw Queen B-dub's representation right there with Tiffany Haddish. I wonder why I'm single. I'm so nice. I'm so attractive. I got it going on. I got fame. I got riches. I got all kinds of shit. Except a personality. Except the ability to love, honor, and cherish. All your shit doesn't mean anything next to the ability to trust you. And nobody trusts you. Let me walk that back a little bit. They'll trust you long enough to get into that praying mantis love dice. You know, where the praying mantis bitch is all big and bulky and shit, got fucking linebacker shoulders, trying to kill a motherfucker while he's kissing her titties and shit. Oh man, you can see her. She was dressed in green too. She looked like a praying mantis. Nasty. Seafood Black Irish. WS, the president of Simpistan. Will Smith, the president of Simpistan. That motherfucker was in the running to be a board member. He just jumped over all of them and became cuck of the decade. Is it possible to beat out Jack the Dildo Murphy? I think he just did it. Jack was going to be a talking point for a long time. You know, Jack's sitting somewhere wiping sweat off of his brow and zinc off of his mouth, talking about, oh man, I'm so glad Will Smith came along. I can start my seminal fluid order again. Disgusting motherfuckers. Psychosoap 2, the spousification of sons, and on the reverse, turning the husbands into sons. Soap, you know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? Peter Oslowski. What's up, Peter? How you doing, man? Queens and Kangs. I wish people would stop with the whole queen and king thing. People call me a king. I'm not a fucking king. Not a king. I'm a man. I'm just a man. Just a man. You got to stop with the self-inflating, the self-flatulation. Accept your life, man. Accept your life for what it is. You know, when you have a fucking bug like Tiffany Haddish get up there and try to dress that woman down, she didn't even have a poor choice of words, man. Somebody says you have a costume change. It's a very normal thing to say when you're going from the Oscars to an after party or whatever. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. But she tried to treat that woman like fucking trash because she does believe that that woman is underneath her. You see, when you give women everything, and you give them power, you give them money, you give them the ability to make decisions that affect millions of lives, you still end up with fucking tyrants. They just have pussies. They don't run the world better. They run it the way that they want to, and that's not better. ESP revaluation. The religion of pussy worship have you simping to the world. Well, maybe you, but not me. And far be it from me to say that you're simping. I know that you're not simping, but you know what I mean. Nanja Ninja. Why he settled for Jada, I'll never understand. I mean, the guy could have supermodels. Well, fuck supermodels. Supermodels ain't shit. They just look good, right? They're pleasing to the eye. What do you get when you get a supermodel? You get an empty bottle of beer. You know, you can make the fucking ocean sound in the empty bottle. They ain't shit. They ain't nothing. Their whole fucking life is just on what they look like. And they got fucking thousands of people just throwing goddamn cash at them, man. Cunts like Amaranth making these bitches rich. She got on that sad fucking excuse of a network, G4, which has rebranded itself X-Play. Don't be fooled. It's still G4. Talking about blue balls made me a millionaire. I mean, they shove it right in your face, guys. Come on, man. I mean, you can do better than this. You can do better than this. This is what you want to be. All of this money and this fame and this adulation that these people have, it's not real. I mean, you would beg to differ. I'm sure many of you will. It's fleeting. It's not real. The people that are around you because you're fucking loaded, because you became a talent, because you started getting paid. They're not there because they love you or your personality. There's very, very few genuine people in places like Hollywood. They don't exist. They don't exist. Richard Scanlon, Will Smith, a.k.a. Super Sympasaurus Rex. Yeah, he went the fuck off, man. He really did. What a goon. What a fucking goon. He ain't no better than fucking paid thugs. That was disgusting shit right there. Squirrel Slayer. Will Smith can literally have a harem of any one of these celebrities could, but instead settles for an average or ugly wife that cuck them. Well, it's a lot to do with who you are at the time that you meet these people, right? There's a lot to do with how you meet them, when you meet them. Can they identify with you? Do they just get lucky and say a couple of words that make you think that they understand you? It does not take much to get into a man's heart. It doesn't. That's why a man has to be fortified. That's why you have to have those morals, ethics, values, and principles. You have to be able to control your biology. If you can't do that, you will get taken advantage of. And then you'll be walking out somewhere when your asshole woman's next to you, writing a fucking check that you got to cash in the most literal sense. You think I want to be arm in arm with some bitch worried about what she's going to say to somebody, and then all of a sudden, you got to man up, motherfucker. I don't think so. I'll just take my manly effort and put it into my collections, put some new boots on my fucking feet, and motor on down the road. Fat dog. Amaranth is a below average looking girl with 2 big plastic titties. Yes, she is. But that's all it takes for so many guys out here to just fall down into that hole. You know, I mean, not her hole. You know, I'm sure she's been wombed out plenty of times. But yeah, that's all it takes, man, is a reasonable body. You know, she got a duck face. Have you seen her fucking face? She got a duck face. And they're calling that bitch beautiful. That bitch is not beautiful. She's not beautiful. She's got fake fucking titties, 3 fucking layers of cake on her face. What's beautiful about that? There's no natural beauty in her. None. Zero. You take all that garbage off of her, take the breast implants out, she's just Jane average. Unfortunately, men have been conditioned to believe that that's a beautiful woman. It's not. It's not a beautiful woman. That's a decaying soul. Too bad. MGTOW Outlaw. Oh, I know Jim. It's a mechanic shop in there. Peter Ozlowski. I meant was Queens and Kangs. Way was. Chrome Dome Omega. Just remember the general rules, Jim. Don't get Hammer's channel in trouble. Sorry, don't get my channel in trouble now. 638 sets of eyeballs in the house, and I appreciate every one of y'all, man. Thank you much. Thank you. Craig Furness, supermodels are exactly represented by Barbie dolls, hollow and plastic. And I agree with you. I agree with you. Who, 346, when shit gets real, people hate you. Well, yeah, man. When you tell them the truth, they fucking hate you. Well, that's not my truth. Well, no, there's no such a fucking thing as your truth. Well, what about my lived experience? Well, you're the only one that lived it. It doesn't mean that you get to supersede reality. It just doesn't. And I don't play those games. And you shouldn't either, because it fucks with you. I think the real question that everybody should be asking, on the assumption that this is real, is what's going on in this man's head. Do you have to care about it? No, you don't have to care about it. But mental health is a serious issue. It's a serious issue, and it needs to be addressed. When you start having public displays like this, public outbursts, this motherfucker knew where he was. I mean, he didn't just get teleported in there. he knew where he was. He knew that the entire planet was watching. If there was an ulterior motive in his head, it did not go according to plan. It didn't. It's time to disappear from fucking public view for a while. Get your balls up and divorce this bitch. Take the fucking hit. Cut the check. Get this toxic motherfucker out of your life. You can't love somebody that is opening her legs for everyone else. You cannot. It is an affront to your manhood. As a man. It's a slap in the goddamn face every single time you know about it. And every single time you don't. 25-year-old grandpa incel. Oh, man, that's a shout out right there. 20-year-old girlfriend, 30-year-old wife, 50-year-old whiskey. Take the whiskey. Dragon Slayer Mar, feminazi is hate free men because free men aren't controlled. I will agree with you partially on that. All of us are controlled to some degree. To some degree. That's why you have to fight like hell to keep the little bit of shit that you've got. And if minimizing your interactions with people, for me, this works. You see, this works. That's why I don't have a lot of people in my life. That's why I can afford to do the things that I do. When your people become an expense, when they become a liability, then it's time to cut them loose. That works for me. It might not work for you. And I'm not talking about buying a motherfucker some Burger King. I'm not talking about picking up the pizza 3 weeks in a row. I'm talking about a serious liability. Serious shit. Not that trivial shit. Steve Jobless, I told a B-dub your truth is different from the truth. She cut me off, right? What did you expect her to do? Of course she's going to cut you off, man. They can't handle that shit. They ain't going to deal with that. Fortis Pureblood, America's mental health care is the worst in the Western world. I don't know if that's factual, but all you got to do is look around. It's pretty fucking bad, Holmes. Spider Cat, hammer with the truth bomb. There's no bomb. No bomb. There's no det cord. There's no fuse. It's just the truth. And it offends people so terribly because their lives have been spent absorbing nonsense. It's comfortable. It's easy. Believing the nonsense, believing the bullshit is what these folks do. It's in their DNA. It's bred into them. And when you tell them the truth, they think that you're a liar. When they're confronted with incontrovertible evidence, they think that you planted it there, that you made it up. That's the point in time where you have to be walking. You got to go put your shoes on, get on the shoe leather express, get the fuck out of Dodge. Leave them be. Let them come to the realization by themselves. You'll hear about it in a few years. I usually do. You know, you were so right. I had a longtime friend of mine. Some of you know him. I'm not going to name drop him. Called me a few days ago. Said, you were right about everything. He didn't want to believe it. He didn't want to believe it. I said, I know. I know I was. He says, I'm getting off social media. I'm dipping. I said, okay. You know, while I was reading it, of course, I didn't get the opportunity to respond because he killed the social media instantly. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. It's tough to be in this. It's tough to stay in this. It's a long fight. It's dirty. It's nasty. You're confronted with truth and things that you just are going to have a hard time absorbing. What you witnessed at the Oscars, whether it was a setup, whether it was a work, or whether it was real, is irrelevant. The messaging that comes from it is what you should be concentrating on. It cosigns violence against people for opinions. It tells people that they can be violent against you if they don't like your opinion. And that's already a prevailing point of view, a stance that motherfuckers like BLM take, that Antifa take, the police take. Don't think that this was accidental, even if it was an organic thing, even if it was 100% real. The shit that's pouring out from it is dangerous. It's very dangerous. It doesn't stop with comedians. Journalists will be next. Congress people, senators, people that you disagree with. What happened to Rand Paul a few years ago? His fucking neighbor attacked him and broke his ribs. What happened to Steve Scalise? He was nearly shot to death playing baseball. They claim that you're the violent one. They claim that you're the one with all the shit going wrong, but they're the ones trying to kill you. It doesn't stop until you make it stop. Park Trizzle, Fresh Prince looked broken, homie. I know that look. He looked the same fucking way when he was sitting across that table when his wife was confessing her sins against him and against God, because they swore on a Bible when they took their vows. It's irrelevant that they're the second and third parts of a three-party contract. When you put your hand on the Bible and you swear, you're making a promise to God. They knew full well that they were not going to honor that promise. They knew that. And this is what you receive. Will Smith has a bountiful life. He has the world at his fingertips, but he can do nothing. He can go nowhere. He has no peace. And it's all of his own making. Don't be Will Smith. For that matter, the few women that are in here right now, don't be Jada Pinkett. Don't be a cuck and don't be a fucking whore. No matter how much these people out here try to normalize this behavior, it clearly is not normal and is not being received by the population. A lot of folks are doing it. A lot of folks are selling themselves off, body, mind, soul, spirit. But then you have the leftovers. When they're yesterday's news, when they're washed up at fucking 23 years old, this is what you end up with. LIW213, perhaps someone needs to smack Will and reacquaint him with his wife Jada and what she has done. That doesn't matter. He has co-signed what she has done. He has said, we have an open marriage. He just doesn't expect to get railed over it. He doesn't expect to be told that he's a piece of shit for allowing it. He doesn't expect to be told that what he brings to that table is not enough for her, even with $400 million in the bank. Polska Bob, you get your taxes done yet, hamster? What are you talking about taxes for, Polska? Damn. Indy MGTOW at Hamster, same here working. Good to see you in here, Ginger Hamster. Darth Hideous, what happened to Andy No like 5 times now? Yeah. Eventually, somebody's going to get ballsy enough to really try to hurt Andy No. I hope that they don't. I hope that they don't. There's been too many instances of people just being flat out murdered over the last couple of years because they had a Trump hat on, because they were flying an American flag. That's not going to be sustainable, and it's not going to work out too well for the folks that are doing that. Angler MGTOW, more good points. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Devlin McBain, until we stop them. Yes, until we stop them. I'm not telling you to go out there and do anything violent. What I am saying is that the day may come where you're going to have to be ready to defend yourself with violence. Don't think that that won't happen. Don't dismiss it. James Von Maxwell at no, I have to do 3 tax returns. Oh, shit on that. Russell Bodie, Rand Paul is still standing strong, speaking against Dr. Falsey. I respect that. I do too. Rand is not really my kind of guy, but I do respect his courage in that respect. Yes. Daniel Frayne, Hammerhand, how F? What does that mean? I don't know what that means, Daniel. Sorry, bro. Michael Guevara, as we say in the Inquisition, one has to be cruel to be kind, but not all the time. You have to meter out the cruelty. It has to be measured. You see? It has to be measured. You can't be a cocksucker 24/7. There has to be room for humanity. the Gilded Age Phoenix. If someone says something you don't like, smile and talk sweet words to them in public. Then, when they're alone, you take the ball bat to them, give them a Negan or two. Maybe. I guess it would depend on the severity. I understand the reaction from a familial point of view. If somebody went after my son, I can't tell you exactly how I would respond. It wouldn't be pleasantly. That I can tell you. But how fast we get it down and diffused is how fast we can start talking about the who's, what's, whens, and whys. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. People have lost the ability to confront the people that they really want to confront. The idea now is to get a reaction immediately, and they make pissy poor choices by going after family. However, I don't believe that that's what this was. I don't think he was defending his family. I don't think he was defending the honor of a black woman, of Jada Pinkett. I don't think that that's what it was at all. I think, well, I can say all day that I know. I don't know for sure, but I heavily suspect that Mr. Will Smith just cracked. I mean, he's been under intense scrutiny for a few years now. So, you know how it is. At least you should. Get down to the bottom here. 627 sets of eyeballs, 1 hour and 11 minutes into this. Thank you very much. Much appreciation. Much appreciation. Mooner Prime, yeah, she's a certified reptile. MGTOW outlaw. Just glad you're still here, brother. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if you're talking to me or not, but thank you if you are. Penny Pounder, Will Simph, doing it Big Willie style and getting jiggy with it. Bring it. Park Trizzle, it's why I'm in these circles, so the boys don't make my mistakes. I agree. My son, on a personal note, has been hearing me and listening to me for years now. Years. He keeps himself fairly clean when it comes to dealing with the opposite sex, when it comes to falling into little Marxist and commie traps. And I'm constantly on him about school. If anybody's saying, X, Y, and Z, if they're teaching you about gender, if they're saying any fucking thing like that, if they start talking about benefits of feminism, if they ask him about what white privilege is and why he thinks he shouldn't have it or he does have it or yada, 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 anything. If I get a whiff of that fucking shit, he's out of the school. And I'll grind those motherfuckers up. And I'll take that shit right to the state capitol. Will not accept it. Will not deal with it. You are not less than. White men are not less than. Black men are not less than. Men are not less than women. We are never going to get to a place where we can look at each other and feel good and comfortable while we're all trying to kill each other. And I will never submit to that. So if that's the future that you want for yourselves and for your planet, just keep doing what you're doing. We'll be out of business soon. It don't take that long. Giant purple people eater. You take a man's will to live, you create a monster, not afraid to die. Agreed. Hunter's Moon X Grim. It was the Russians that forced Will Smith. I think I saw one hiding behind him. I'm not sure. Maybe though. Tom's Wonderful Rib Grunt. One fast Dak. Howdy. Tito D, he was trying to save his ego. I don't think that can be saved. That's gone. What you saw was the reaction of an emotional, effeminate man. Now, I don't say real man. We're all real men. It's just, what type of man are you? How did you grow up? Who raised you? What type of people were you around? Increasingly, it's becoming known that this kind of man was raised by a single mother, a grandmother perhaps. In the rare instance where they had a man in the house, he was also a weak, effeminate man. No disrespect to that man. I'm not disrespecting those men. What I'm saying is that they were sabotaged. Their birthright was stolen from them and replaced with something that was never going to work. And this is what you see. This is the end result of that type of bullshit, that type of indoctrination and brainwashing. The idea that a single mother can do anything is absurd. Well, my single mom worked real hard, Hammer. I'm not saying that she didn't, but she can't raise you or give you the lessons that a man can. She can raise you to be a cocksucker. She can raise you to be effeminate. She can raise you to embrace your sexuality, son. She can do all of that, where a father would say, get the fuck up. Get up. And then pat you on the back. Maybe take you for ice cream or go play ball with you. Show you how to work on the car. Teach you through his own actions the virtues of stoicism. Teach you not to be emotionally hardwired. Women don't do that. Not now, not ever. And don't point to the one bitch that does do it. It's an anomaly. And I do not accept it as the norm. Daniel Frayne, imagine if Will Simp did that to a biker in a leather jacket. He wouldn't have. He wouldn't have. You got to keep in mind, these people are all actors. They're pretenders. They pretend for a living. Does that show you how fucked up and backwards this society is? That people like football players and basketball players make more than firemen and teachers? And it's not even close. That's how fucked up people are. That's how dependent, how codependent they are on entertainment, on being taken away from reality for a little while. And then that speaks to the larger culture. It's a huge problem with the culture at large, for everyone. What's the natural conclusion to that? Is that you take it to the top. The few thousand people that run this planet on every country and continent are pilfering the planet. They're stealing everything. They just call it law. Well, we're not stealing, it's the law. But you made the fucking law. Don't ever convince yourselves that you're not being stolen from on a daily basis. You are. Jerkin McDickus. That's beautiful. Purge every socialist, progressive, SJW, alphabet soup group, feminazi, climate activist, traitor, Democrats. It's all of it. It's not just Democrats, man. It's Republicans too. You know, it's Republicans too. Republicans of old, maybe I would have given them a bit of a slide. Even liberals of old, I might have given them a bit of a slide, but that's not what none of them are today. All of these motherfuckers are clamoring, clawing and scraping, sabotaging each other, trying to stay on top of the mountain. That's what they're trying to do. And unfortunately for us, we're caught right here having to fucking deal with it. Fortis Pure Blood, gold will hit 3K by the end of the year. Chrome Dome Omega, indeed hammer. He most definitely cracked. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He did crack. He had a moment, and then he was being consoled by Bradley Cooper, Tyler Perry, and the thing that really kind of disappointed me was Denzel Washington. I don't know if Denzel Washington knows him outside of these gatherings. I'm sure that he probably does. You know, rich know rich, and they hobnob with one another because they simply cannot relate to what it means to be a ticket buyer, a moviegoer, a regular Joe. You can see how fucked up and detached these people are. You can see it just by looking at them. They wipe their asses with $1,000 bills. You know what I'm saying? Tiffany Haddish was more than happy to tell you how rich, successful, glamorous, and cool she was, but she's still single. The only kind of man she's going to pick up is the kind of man that she doesn't want. She won't look out here for a man. Hells to the nah. She won't look out here. She won't go find herself a working class black man, that's for sure. She despises the working class. All of them do. When they come across as being nice and kind and they understand you and you start to give them that love, that's that honey trap. It's a Venus flytrap. Just puts out a little bit of honey and then they got you. And then you're unwilling to accept the fact that they look down on you. They do. They look down on you. It's not like it's a secret, gang. I mean, come on. Daniel Frayne, at least the war band, going to give me some acres. Maybe. John Smith, delete them all. Control-Alt, delete them all. Who, 346, before laws passed, they invest in the things that would profit. Schlitz Malt Liquor, the whole culture works at whittling us down to nothing, and they are very successful at it, aren't they? They are very successful at that. But then again, people don't need any help fucking each other over because they do that very regularly and with a smile on their face. A Manly Reloaded, we've had our humanity stole from us at birth. We go through a mesh of septic swamps or skeptic swamps and try to find glimpses of who we are and what we could have been. See, I don't do that. I don't worry about who I could have been. I worry about right now. Right now, today. Like I'm sitting here talking to you right now, today. I worry about that. I don't worry about anything. Maybe 3 or 4 hours down the road. That's about as far as I think forward for most things. You know, the important things. Yes, I try to dope it out a little bit, try to plan it out. But I don't let my mind get consumed with nonsense. And you might say to yourselves, or out loud, well, this is kind of nonsense, Hammer. Well, no, this kind of serves a purpose. This kind of serves a purpose. In this sphere, what I'm showing you right now is how violence against men is co-signed by women. That's what I'm showing you right now. You witnessed black on black violence, which is incredibly prevalent. It seems to be a taboo subject. I don't know why. Acknowledge it. Deal with the problem. Deal with the problem. If there's too many poor people out there killing each other, make them less poor. It's not like there's not enough money to go around, not enough resources. Of course there are. You take the pressure off of people just a little bit, they'll work long and hard for you. They will. Sifu Black Irish, give that like button the pimp hand. Thank you very much, Sifu. I appreciate that. Pan-African Big Towel, BMG Towel, caught in middle class. Well, I mean, it's to me, it's better than being underneath the middle class, man. I've been way under the poverty line in my lifetime for a lot of my life. And when I started to get my shit together, I rose and got out of that poverty. You know, I mean, real poverty, $7,000 a year poverty. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. I have several W-2s in my early 20s where I was only making $7,000, $8,000 a year. How do you live on that? Well, you find a way. You do without almost everything. Wear them fucking shoes with duct tape on them. And I'm not joking. Eric Meering, well, I got here late, but not disappointed. But not disappointed. Sorry about that, gentlemen. My fucking USB moved and knocked everything out. Daniel Frayne, my pimp ring will increase in price. Felipe Rodriguez, if this shit is fake to get points or attention from Wham, Will Smith just became the next French actor, Juicy Smollett. Oh, man. Angler MGTOW, the human condition is trying to keep their cheese. Sure, bro. And they want more of your fucking cheese. They want it all. They want it all. And they are happy to tell you that. And I will point back to Miss Tiffany Haddish one more again. That's what a man should do. She should give him the fucking tonight because he went and punched some fucker in the face over a joke. Now, the black men in this comment section on this live right now, they understand what it is that they're looking at. They can tell you all about it. The rest of you might not see it so clearly. That is very, very prevalent in the community. Very prevalent. They absolutely cosign violence so that you can get their love. David Hunter, love to hear Undead Chronic respond to this Will Smith nonsense. Oh, I have a feeling that you will. I have a feeling that you will. Silver Surf Studio, I, unlike Wimp Simp, actually had to work today. Well, yeah, that's most of us, isn't it? You get up there and cry real fucking tears after you just assault somebody, get an Oscar, and people are big up in this motherfucker and slapping him on the back. It'll be all right, Will. If that doesn't tell you that you live in clown world, nothing will. Nothing will. Ian Blades, he was crying in the break. Well, that's what happens with emotional, effeminate men. He made an emotional, effeminate decision, assaulted somebody, and then had to kind of pray to God that Chris Rock or organizers or somebody in the crowd didn't call the police. And guess what? Nobody did. Psychosoap, Mitch McConnell is now Turtle Rhino. He's been that for a long time. Long time. Fortis Pureblood, I lived in a socialist culture. I got robbed. Most socialists do. It's wonderful until they start taking your shit. Fernando Aguiar, this is an awakening man. Indy MGTOW, hell, I just realized I'm wearing Hammer's Pureblood shirt. Oh man, winning. Outstanding. I hope you like the shirt, brother. Daniel Frayne, shout out to the gold pinky ring I use for them hoes. Seafood Black Irish, Penny Pounder, greetings, brother. Greetings, Penny. Good to see you in here. Schlitz, Malt Liquor, robbing us of everything. Fucking A. A Manly Reloaded. Will Smith has been humiliated and destroyed most of his life. The guy snapped. I have no idea what the fuck he sees in her. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Nobody does except him and her. And if he's willing to keep doing it, it's going to keep happening. So don't think that you've heard the last of this, because if he's willing to do it in front of a global audience, he's willing to do it behind closed doors. I hope everybody understands that. I don't wish for the man to go out there and harm somebody else, but it's not going to surprise me when it happens. These are the same people that will sit there and tell you that Juicy Smollett did not stage a hate crime. They're the same people that'll tell you that the 700 recorded hate crimes that turned out to be fakes in the last 5 years, no, they're actually hate crimes. It's just people are just saying that they're fakes. They were fake. They're the same people that will get in front of an audience of people and tell them, well, the blacks and Chicanos that we caught putting Nazi graffiti up and then blaming white people for it, they were forced into it, by white oppression. The same motherfuckers. This is what happened when you foster a culture that is based entirely on victim grievance. You have to have a supply of victims to make the grievance culture work. And there's no shortage of people that are offering themselves up to be victims. Will Smith, in a very large way, offered himself up to be a victim. And he did not disappoint. Mooner Prime, Will Simp is being pimped by a bitch called Pinkett with a bald head. Get some lotion on that scalp, bitch. Get some lotion. You're looking ashy. Fortis Pureblood. Look up Nikolai Koskew. No. Polska Bob, Overdrive achieved, Hammer. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Circus Madness. What kind of man of God allows this to happen to him? I don't know that he ever said he was a man of God. I don't know about that. Black Sage 81. Will should have left Jada when she aired out their private business on TV. Total lack of respect for their relationship. It's just more than that. It's more than that. There is an expectation now of black men to prostrate themselves in front of black women. The black culture is run by matriarchs here in the United States. This is not true for blacks everywhere, but it's definitely a matriarchy here, and it's passed over by fucking preachers and the black church, and it's enabled by the money that's funneled into them fucking churches by all of the scumbags in the DNC and in the RNC. Folks, make no mistake about it. Good blacks are under the fucking gun. They're under the gun to fall in line. Their own people are weaponized against them. A lot of them see it. Hell, a lot of them are in this comment section right now. Age of Machines and Mommy's Words, Davina Duckworth, everything else was in Jada's mouth. Oh, shit. Deister Varg, they are using a troubled and manipulable man for their degenerate propaganda. The message is there. The thing is, was not received well by the target audience, men. No. I think that this was received in a very horrifying way by men. Men like us. I saw this shit coming a mile away. I was doing videos on Will Smith way back when. There were a few of us that were doing videos about Will Smith way back when. And we told you that you hadn't heard the last of this. And here we are. Here we are. Super Leroy 66, down with Whitey. Who's Whitey? Age of Machines, give me that laughy face. Alien Rockin' Head, you can't make this stuff up. No, you can't. Folks, I'm going to run to the bottom. We're an hour and a half in, 620 sets of eyeballs still here. That's inconceivable. I can't believe it. I'm going to read off a few more, and I think we're going to call it a day on this one. I think that we've done it enough, and I don't expect to do any more on this. Unless, of course, the motherfucker jumps off of a bridge or he starts throwing bricks at people's faces, then I'll cover that too. Pharaoh Ravage, that is too true. I saw a black woman say that what happened between Will, Chris, and Jada is black business only, which almost made me recoil in cringe and secondhand embarrassment. It should have, because it is cringe and it is stupidly embarrassing to suggest bullshit like that. Stupidly embarrassing. Daniel Frayne, this is the real church. Well, I don't know about that. I don't blaspheme in here. And if I do, I try to cover it up very fast. Because I don't mess with that. James Von Maxwell. Oh, now I'm in the promo, eh? Now I have to be there. Yes, you do. Park Trizzle. Only if you're scared. If the blowback, my man, scared of the blowback, my man. I got a little to lose. I got little to lose. Can't cancel a broke fool. Damn, man. Got to get some punctuation going. Bob, I think it was just a distraction. The further they get from the China thing, the better, even if it's dumb. I think that they have lost China bucks. China bucks are gone. China's been rejecting all of their movies, and it's out now that they're covering up blacks that perform in these movies, that they're taking them off movie posters or minimizing their presence and doing selective editing in China to appease the Chi-Coms. That's bad. Does anybody think that that's a good fucking habit to endorse? And of course, then they film right next to concentration camps where the Uyghur Muslims are being brutalized and re-educated. And they thank them. if you have a subscription to Disney, you probably shouldn't have a subscription to Disney, folks. These people are evil. They're evil. They endorse evil, and they are banking on you needing your entertainment more than you need to be a decent human. And unfortunately, millions of people need their entertainment more. JR looked real. Chris was shook, embarrassed, but still kept his cool. It was real. Of course it was real. You know, like we said a little bit earlier, is it possible that it was talked about to make it look real? Maybe ginned up a little bit before they went on air? Who knows? But getting clubbed across the fucking face, that was real. That was real. I wouldn't read too much into it. I think you watched a guy crack on live TV. You watched Britney Spears go shave her fucking head and then beat the shit out of a car with an umbrella. So she cracked. Mariah Carey cracked. Dave Chappelle fucking flipped out. You know, of course, Dave Chappelle will sit there and tell you, oh, you're dismissive. That's dismissive, man. You can't say that. I'm a strong motherfucker. No, you're not. No, you're not. You get paid for your weakness and your dysfunction, homie. You got millions in the fucking bank so that they can use you up and take a shit in your mouth anytime they want. So shut up. That's any fucking time they want. John Boston, that was the biggest live simp move I have ever seen. Hey, yeah, it was, man. Angler MGTOW, it was a very poor example to set. He don't give a fuck about examples. He don't care nothing about that. Well, now he does in a certain sense, you know. I'm telling you, gentlemen, if you keep your ear to the ground over the next couple of weeks, especially over the next 3 days, maybe, you're going to see a whole bunch of black females coming out talking about how Will Smith has just jumped up in their book. He just upped himself. Maybe I don't have to divest. Maybe I can sit it out here in Blackistan. Get me a Will Smith. Put that ring on it. Bobby Mazes. Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. He should have been more concerned with keeping other men out of his wife's mouth. I agree. Punched the shit, open hand slapped the shit out of a comedian. But this dude over here that's fucking busting nuts, he's cool. I signed off on him. He's cool. He's cool. Don't get that shit on my sheets. Dr. Jeep, I'm white. Where's my fucking money? It's in the IRS, I think. No, I'm not sure. I think it's in the IRS. Rat a submissive wife. We all here. Good. One fast Dak. I hope so, hamster. Spider Cat. The Hammer Clan grows. No. There's no Hammer Clan. Don't be saying that shit. You'll put a target on me, man. Park Trizzle. And that's all I can do. John Boston. Dak. How you doing, my man? Blue Ocean Ski, preaching facts. Try to, at least a very honest opinion. And the facts are irrefutable when it comes to this particular subject. Nobody can hang with us on that. All they can do is put their fingers in their ears and go, la, 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 I cannot hear you. I cannot hear. Fuck them. Fuck them. You want to die alone? You want to murder off some fucking cats while you're dying alone? Then die alone, bitch. You want to die with somebody and still be in an empty bed? Die alone. It's fine with me. You see? Stop wasting your time trying to demonize MGTOW, trying to demonize monks, and get your shit together. Become more appealing to what a man wants. Because if you want that man, you have to want what he wants. It's just that simple. Unless, of course, you settle for the man that makes your stomach turn. And that's quite a few of them today, unfortunately, because, well, you raised them. There's always that. Yay, success story. Duh. MGTOW gear, slippery slide. Willie has no willy. Slippery slide. Caitlin McIntyre. Oh, and it jumped. At James Vitorovich. No, not Tyrone, Tupac. Don't get it twisted. Dale White. They have been saying for years that Hollywood needs to be more black. Wish granted. And 2 years after Ricky gave the last rites to the Oscars, 2 years after the Oscars went from is to was. Well, yeah, that's what I said a little bit earlier. They were all out there. Jada Pinkett Smith herself with Will Smith, they're the ones that spearheaded it. Oscars, so white. Be careful what you wish for, motherfuckers. You just might get it. Now the Oscars ain't so white. Now you got exactly what you wished for. You got a bunch of fat, stupid broads on stage, lesbians, licks, muff divers, all talking about how we get 3 women to host this motherfucker. We're cheaper than one man. You ain't kidding. You said it, not me, but I do agree with you. You are cheaper than one man and lazier and dumber because you co-sign this bullshit. Keep co-signing that bullshit. Keep doing it until your last fucking breath. It doesn't affect me one way or the other.